Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Zooba's Amazing Stories Reviews. Tonight's episode, or this particular episode, is called Remote Control Man. This was from Season 1, Episode 10, and it was originally aired December 8th, 1985, in the first season. And it was directed by Bob Clark. Bob Clark is famous for his movies, directing his movies, Porky's, and his most famous movie that he directed, A Christmas Story. I think those were pretty successful films in the feature film realm. As kind of low budget but very successful movies, and gave Bob his name. This episode, Remote Control Man, falls within what I call my Amazing Stories Trilogy of Stupid. So after this review, I'll be doing two more reviews of episodes that fall into my Trilogy of Stupid category. Remote Control Man stars a character actor that you've seen all over the place. I think he was actually in, I believe he was in, what's the name of that big movie, where all the comedians were in it. It's from the 60s, where people were going all over the U.S. in cars looking for something. The heck was the name of that picture? It will come to me. You know what I'm talking about. They were looking for the giant W. I can't think of it right now. What was it called? They made a remake called The Rat Race, and I think it was called... It's hard for me to remember. It'll come back. Anyway, I believe he was in that. Anyway, this episode, Remote Control Man, starts off and we meet this Sidney Lassick actor as a bumbling husband. He's coming home. He's in traffic, and then he finally gets home, and he's got like this crazy wife. She's like such a character, and he's got this evil son that it's the kid from Jeff B. Cohen from, I believe he's from the Goonies. He played Tank or something, a little chubby kid. Anyway, he comes home and he's just like this harried husband whose wife's always complaining, and he's bows down to her, and she's always yelling at him, and he likes to watch TV to get away from, his job in the world. He works at some kind of office where they give him all the work, and so he's really not a happy soul. He comes home and he has to deal with his crazy wife and this evil son. He accidentally gets his Sidney, the man, gets his hand caught in the kitchen sink, and the son comes in and looks like he's going to turn on the garbage disposal and chew up his dad's hand. It's like really gross and stupid, totally unbelievable. Anyway, it's kind of scary in that realm, but it doesn't make sense. Anyway, the remote control thing is about he wants to watch TV to get away from it all, and his wife hates him for doing that, and she sells his TV set when he's gone at work one day to buy herself this stupid outfit, which she thinks is very sexy, but she's such an ugly old thing that she could never look good. Anyway, he's heartbroken when he finds out that his television set has been sold by his wife, and now he has nothing to get away from anything. He goes out driving one night and he finds this neon crazy store, futuristic looking place. He goes in there, and for some reason they're selling television sets, and he buys this futuristic television set that he takes home, and it has a remote control device. He turns it on, and it seems like he's able to use this remote control to make his wife disappear and his son disappear. He also has this other son that's really wacky. He's sort of like a Hare Krishna character that's into eating all these healthy things, but then he supposedly he's supposed to be a very health conscious person, but then he eats all this junk. what does that have to do with anything? Anyway, it's in the story. The story is written by Douglas Lloyd McIntosh from a Steven Spielberg idea. I guess Spielberg came up with the original story idea. Anyway, let's get back in. So he goes to this neon place one night and he buys a television set. Brings it home. He finds out that he can now use his remote control to zap his wife away into the cornfield, so to speak, and his son and his other son. And then he starts zapping people into his living room, like Barbara Billingsley from Leaving to Beaver, and Gary Coleman from Different Strokes. They all start, these people from television shows start hanging out in his house. It just becomes this big mess of nothing. I guess it was a way of just paying homage, so to speak, by the writer to all these television people. It's just a big mess. I didn't like it at all, and I was just annoyed by the whole thing. I didn't really care what happened. It's just totally unrealistic, and the comedy is just way over the top, and it's just silly. I think there's cameos by Richard Simmons and the Incredible Hulk, and just too many people. The music was done by Arthur B. Rubinstein, and I usually like him as a composer. He scored Albert Brooks's film Lost in America, which I liked, and in this I don't even remember the music, so it was pretty much a non-remembering, an unmemorable score. It's just a big mess, and I would not recommend it at all. I would give it a 1. It's like, why did they even make it? So it's the first episode in my trilogy of stupid, amazing stories. Please leave your comments below, and if you liked my episodes, and if I should continue, and any requests you might have. Please subscribe if you like, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.